Woo! What a game. That was a crazy game. It started off kind of boring, where it just was like not as there wasn't much really going on in the game. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. remembered that he know how to catch, and then the game started actually getting good. Um, I'm going to start with the end of the game. The finish was incredible. The game really got going around when around it was about 4 minutes left in the game, and the Seahawks missed their field goal, which then gave the Cardinals the ball back on their own 40, and that's when the game got serious. That's when it got real serious because it was like they could tie the game up, they can win the game here, and the Cardinals basically executed a about a 3 minute drive where they got into the end zone with about 30 minutes left. I mean, 30 seconds left in the game. Tied it up at 20. Then how it went after that just didn't make any sense. First of all, right before they scored, Seattle wasted their timeout. So it was just bad game management all around by both sides here. And then after they scored the touchdown, the Arizona Cardinals were kicking the field goal or kicking the kickoff to the Seattle Seahawks. And for some reason, they decided to try a knuckleball kick at that point. They hadn't done it the whole game, and they just decided to randomly do it right now. I do not know why. The kick ends up landing at the 21, which is outside of the landing zone, so they got a 40-yard penalty, which then put the Seahawks at their own 40, which basically just gave them a ton of yardage and gave them great field position to go get a field goal. All they needed was a field goal. Sam Darnold then proceeds to lead them down to this field goal. They end up in a 2nd and 10 situation. It's the 4th quarter, 2nd and 10 situation, 23 seconds left in the game. And sometimes you just have to throw to your best guy. And JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba, he is proving to be their best guy. He is showing himself to be a true number one in this league. And he bailed them out with a great catch off the side, a great route where he maneuvered out of the way, he maneuvered around the corner, and then caught the ball and then had the wherewithal enough to touch the ball out of bounds to stop the clock. It's a great play, great moment. It put them at around the other team's 40. And after that, pretty much the game was over. And for some reason, the Cardinals decided to play man free on that play. I've never seen that in that scenario. I don't know why you would play man in that scenario. But that's what they decided to do. And it led to a complete, essentially collapse after they came back in this game. But to be honest with you, they didn't really deserve to win this game. They kind of came back later in this game, and they just didn't. They could have done so much more early in the game to keep themselves in it, and they just ended up losing the game because it was too little, too late, essentially. I don't know. The Cardinals have like issues on offense that need to get figured out. Marvin Harrison Jr. is at first I thought it was a mental thing, but I think it's a little bit of I think he might be hurt because he just looked a little gimpy. It felt like he wasn't really going for the ball as hard as he could. Felt like he was kind of like anticipating hits. I don't know. It was a struggle for that first half. That first honestly half and a quarter. It was a struggle to watch him play. And then he kind of turned it up on that last drive, really. I don't know. He turned it up on the first drive to get them to 13 points. When they scored that touchdown, that was him catching that ball in the end zone over. I can't remember who the cornerback was at the time, but he caught it over them, and it was nice to see him get that play and have that moment. He sat down and literally put his head down and prayed. You could tell it was there was something emotionally going on with him, where he's trying to get his groove back, and you can see he's trying to get it, and it's just not coming as clean as it can be. But he turned it up in his last quarter, and it was nice to see him realize that he's a dog. I don't know why it did feel like a confidence thing to me, but it also felt like maybe there's something going on with his body. Maybe he's actually hurt because he just didn't look confident in his abilities for most of the game. And then he became confident and he was just catching everything that was coming his way after that. And he also had his really nice catch that was similar to the JSN catch where he moved Devon Witherspoon out the way essentially and let him kind of fall and kind of come ahead and catch the ball. And that was a great first down. That was on the the tying drive, the drive that would tie the game. I just thought there's a weird energy on the Cardinals. They got like no sense of urgency throughout the entire game until it was like really time. It was like fourth quarter. They were like, all right, time to lock in. And it wasn't like similar to like the Eagles game where they had to lock in. It felt more like, well, we got the dogs. Let's just like, things are finally working now. And then they put themselves in position. But it was just too little too late. And they didn't have the answers for the blitz all night. Kyler was getting blitz all game. I couldn't tell if it was Kyler didn't have answers, like he didn't know what to do, or if they offensively didn't have answers built into the offense. I'd have to review the tape on that. But honestly, there was times where it felt like both, where it's like he didn't have answers, but also there was like they were running a flea flicker play, and it was like very clear that they were running that the Seahawks were blitzing their corners, and it was just like, or blitzing their DBs, and it was just like, how do you not see that and switch out of a flea flicker play? Like, because that's a longer developing play, a blitz is going to kill that play. So it just felt like they didn't really have a good understanding of what they were trying to do. On the Seattle end, that offense is looking nice. Darnold and JSN have a real chemistry. JSN is emerging as a number one, and Darnold is playing like one of the best quarterbacks. If you're clicking, that's my dog. but yeah, their offense is looking really good, especially way better than they were last year with Ryan Grubb calling the plays. They just look like they have like a real identity, and they know when they need something, they got to have it. That's what they're going to get, right? And they know who they're going to. They know exactly who they're going to, and that's JSN, right? I'm surprised that Kenneth Walker wasn't getting as much touches, but like I do kind of like Zach Charbonnet a little bit better than him. But overall, I think the Seahawks look like a fun team. Their defense is great. Their defense was great last year and is still great this year. Mike McDonald's a genius when it comes to all of that. But like if their offense can get it going like it didn't last year, coupled with that defense, that could be a serious contender, or at least a serious a long shot. But like a team that can everything goes right, certain things go a certain way, they can win a lot of games and be pushing for a Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I really had on this game. Sam Darnold looked great. The Cardinals got to figure out their energy is weird. The fact that Marvin Harrison Jr.'s confidence is so low is weird to me. I don't know what's going on with him, but we'll see. Seattle is a serious contender to win the NFC West. I mean these Seattle. These Seattle Rams games and Seattle 49ers games are just going to be fun. The first one was really fun. So we're also going to get this Niners Rams game next week. So the NFC West is always a fun watch. They always have good teams. They're always playing each other tight, no matter what era it is. But yeah, so that was really fun. That's kind of really all I had on this game. It was a fun game, a fun ending more than anything. And I'm glad to see that Marvin Harrison seemed to get going later, and it's nice to see JSN finally playing like a true number one. But see you guys later. Talk to you guys soon. Go Birds forever.